Hello there hollows and welcome to another video. In this video I'm going to be talking about exploration in FromSoftware games and how, in my personal opinion, FromSoftware's games don't really tend to have that same feeling of true exploration that you perhaps get in other kinds of open world games. And when I say other kinds of open world games, I'm talking about specifically your kind of Bethesda games. I think with Starfield recently releasing, I've been playing that game quite a bit, and whilst that game does have flaws, one thing that it definitely does get right is having a true sense of exploration of all of the different planets and the worlds in which you come across in that game. And in my personal opinion, Elden Ring is the best source of comparison that we have here for exploration in a FromSoftware game, as it's the only game that FromSoftware have made to really try and capture that feeling of exploration. However, in my personal opinion, I feel like it is one of Elden Ring's weaknesses. The world in which you explore in Elden Ring, in my personal opinion, all the times I have played that game, I never really feel at all when I'm exploring the world a true sense that this is awesome, and I could come across anything awesome in my travels, and I could find some kind of building or some cave system or a dungeon and think, oh, I wonder what's in there, because usually it's the same kind of thing. The dungeons get very, very similar and very, very samey, and when you're exploring the world, there's only a couple of instances where you find something truly unique and think, this is really cool and this is awesome. Usually, I'm just exploring similar kind of tree environments, similar kind of rocky environments, and nothing really feels awesome and really amazing to explore. And I don't think, what am I going to get in here? What am I going to find? And the things that you find in Elden Ring don't change the game at all, really, in my personal opinion. You might find some items or some spells or some swords or things, but it's nothing that really has a fundamental impact on the game world, and you don't find anything that tells a really amazing story in the environment. Yes, of course, Elden Ring has a fantastic story that it tells, but you don't go to places and each little place you have has some amazing, almost a small little story of its own. And that's why, in my personal opinion, Elden Ring did fail at that kind of exploration aspect that I think it was going for. When you find a small structure in Elden Ring, you're not bewildered by what's inside, because it's usually something that you've seen before. The environment is very, very samey and repetitive after you've seen the first little bits of each major area. And obviously, Bethesda builds different games to FromSoftware. I'm not saying that it needs to be the same, but I'm saying that Elden Ring did try to make a world that you've really felt lost in. And in my personal opinion, it is not something that it succeeded at. There are many other areas that Elden Ring really did deliver a truly amazing, one-of-a-kind experience in. However, the open world is not something that I personally feel like is one of its strong suits. And I think part of that does come from the fact that you look at the world of Elden Ring and you have small areas that have lots of things in them, but there's a massive gap of just nothing in between each key area. Whereas in a game like, for example, Skyrim, yes, there are gaps with not much in between, but there's always a lot more interesting places sprinkled throughout those areas where there is perhaps less. And this is the same in Fallout, for example. In the Fallout games, there are more smaller, interesting things with interesting stories in between the major areas that you get in those kind of games. And I think that's the main thing, that if there was a sequel to Elden Ring, I think that's something that it really should try and improve upon, is that specific aspect of the open world experience, making it so there's perhaps more interesting stories told about smaller areas in between the larger areas. And also perhaps I'd say maybe don't reuse the same dungeons over and over again. That's something that I think really did impact Elden Ring's replayability as well, was those dungeons that got very, very samey and very repetitive very easily. Anyway, that's the end of this video. Let me know down below in the comments if you personally think that this is something that you think Elden Ring succeeded in or failed in, and how you personally think the open world in Elden Ring could perhaps be improved. Let me know down in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Maybe share this video with anyone that enjoyed it if it was good enough. Thank you again for watching. This is Soul signing out. Have a good one.